It is September 11. After the event of September 11, I was watching TV with my roommate, and to find out was some people call themselves a Muslim. So I really started to think about why this is happening. I went back to the Quran, chapter 4, 5, 9. Say, kill unbeliever wherever you found them. And there's no way we can take off those chapters in the Quran because they are in the Quran.
But what happened on 9/11 was I was forced not to just hear the stories that were being told about Muhammad, not to just hear the modern biographies and what my parents had taught me, but I was forced to go back to the Quran, to the Quran's verses, and also to the original biographies on Muhammad's life. So I started looking these things up. I started studying Muhammad's life, and what I found was that the stories that I had been told about Muhammad were a very, very partial picture. I find out that Muhammad beheaded anywhere from 400 to 800 men in one single day, men who had surrendered. If we keep denying the parts that we don't want to accept, how can we trust the parts we do accept? What razor are we using to dissect between a peaceful and violent Muhammad except cherry picking? After the course of about 3 years, I realized that Islam has at its very core violent teachings. Tremendously violent teachings. And it was that realization that drove me to a decision point.
And then September 11 happened, because I was terrified of what the backlash might look like towards me. Everybody knew I was a Muslim. How are they going to feel about me being there in such a tragic event? But my friends assured me that Christ didn't teach us to behave this way. And I went and I heard a message from the Gospel of Matthew about loving your enemies and praying for those who persecuted you. And that was the nail that sealed the coffin for me.